All right. Thank y'all for coming, and thank you for being patient with me today. I know several of you reached out to me, but my job as the Sheriff of Nash County, first and foremost, is to ensure the safety of the citizens and to protect my deputies and make sure that they're in well. And obviously, I was back and forth in the hospital. I didn't get back with some of you. On today's date, earlier this morning, about 9:30 in the morning, one of our criminal interdiction units was working on I-95, working traffic. A vehicle, a 2008 Mercedes-Benz, four-door with Florida tags, committed the speeding offense. The deputy initiated a traffic stop. Upon the traffic stop, she was going to issue a warning citation and was attempting to get the driver's license from the lone occupant of the vehicle, who was later identified as Jared Javon Ford, 33-year-old, of 2549 Langdon Avenue South, St. Petersburg, Florida. Mr. Ford's driver's license are in a state of revocation, therefore he could not give provide a driver's license. During this traffic stop, it was determined that criminal activity was afoot. The Deputy Shelby Smith, who served with our office for 2 years and 8 months, got in a conversation with him, noticed that he was having criminal activity about himself, summoned another vehicle up, which is K-9 officer Deputy William Toney, with 6 years and 1 month on him. He came up. At that time, they asked the driver out of the vehicle. Conversation ensued. During the conversation, Mr. Ford brandished a firearm, pulled it from his body, turned it around and started shooting, striking Deputy Toney 3 or 4 times. Deputy Shelby Smith returned fire. The defendant then made it into a ditch area and lost his weapon. She kept him at gunpoint until other units could secure the gun, and first aid was administered immediately for both the officer and the felon. Both the Mr. Ford and Deputy William Toney are at Vidant, East Carolina Hospital at this time, and either in surgery or coming out of surgery. The wounds to Deputy William Toney, he is in stable condition. I do not know the exact state of classification that he's in. The real concern here to me is Mr. Ford has, and I'll share this with you, a lengthy criminal record ranging from strangulation to habitual driving without driver's license, to drug trafficking, to possession of firearms, just to name a few, to aggravated assault with a firearm. It's alarming to me that these type of individuals are out roaming the streets. It's concerning.
Sheriff, what kind of charges is the suspect going to be facing at this point?
I've been in communications with the federal court system, and I cannot discuss that, but he is a convicted felon. He did possess a semi-automatic weapon.
What kind of a weapon was that, sir?
From me just looking at it, probably a 9mm or 40 caliber.
Let's talk, if we could, about the deputies for just a moment. They were very, very lucky. You know, close range, someone starts firing shots at them with a weapon like that.
It was because they were in God's hands. That's the only reason these officers are here, in the quick, good training that these officers had. But this man had all intent of killing one of the people that protect you every day. And the citizens of the United States should be alarmed that these type of people are out here over and over and over, and like with this one, 7 pages of criminal activity. It puts every person in America at risk.
Because the canine officer was involved, did the dog take part in all of this?
The dog did not. The dog was in the vehicle.
And the officer, the first officer was Shelby Smith, correct?
That is correct.
And then she noticed that he had a gun.
She noticed that there was criminal activity, and she got him out of the vehicle. And at that time, she picked up on that he might be armed.
And that's when she called for backup. And did he, the other officer, Tony, did he drive there?
He drove there, got out of the vehicle, and they were standing and having communications with the violator.
And how would you classify her? I mean, she not only, she held him at bay. I mean, she protected other people too.
That's what the people need to understand. It's what a law enforcement officer does. You've got a person that's sticking a gun in your face and trying to kill you, and then immediately we turn from being a warrior to a lifesaver, providing first aid and making sure that this person gets to the hospital, because you can believe this violator, if he had his way, he would kill both of those officers, leave them in the road dead, and travel his way back to where he was coming from. They're true heroes out here protecting the interest of our citizens every day.
Can
Do you
you
know how many shots were fired total, or are you still?
That's under investigation. Deputy Smith probably fired maybe 12 rounds. I can't speculate on how many. The suspect was shot numerous times.
And then Tony never got a chance.
His weapon hand, to my understanding, is broken, and he never got his gun out of his holster.
And I know you said he's been in surgery. I mean, is he expected to recover? Is this a story?
I talked to him. I went to the scene and to the hospital. He's in high spirits, and I think he's going to recover. He is a very diligent guy. He's in high spirits. He's very healthy, very in shape. So I think that he'll come along good.
How dangerous was this for the people on the road? I mean, you know, there were people driving by, right? I mean,
There's more traffic on I-95 probably than any other road in America. And it's what it is. When you go out of your house today with these violent offenders, you've got to look in Florida. You just lost 2 officers yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, you had a U.S. Marshal shot in Baltimore. This is happening all over the United States. We're making gun cases every week with violent offenders. They're either fighting law enforcement, or they're either running up and down the road risking lives. It's a very dangerous time. It's a time that we need to look at our probation, parole, and our courts and find out what we need to do to take the people that have records like this and put them somewhere to make it safe for people.
what was the criminal activity, can you say?
The criminal activity?
Did she notice?
I cannot. That is training that they have.
Okay.
That
She just suspected something.
she suspected it, and well, she actually knew it. She knew that the criminal activity was afoot, and that's the reason she carried the investigation further.
Was she ever able to run the plate as she was pulling the vehicle over and get a response back, or was it all just kind of happening right then and there?
I think we do call in license plates and things of that nature, but as today, you don't know who's driving these cars. This was another person that owned this vehicle. He did not own it. You know, going up and down this road, you can only imagine what you find.
Sure.
Earlier in the year, we had a state trooper stop one on US 64 that had a body in the car. You never know what you're going to find.
Sheriff, you lost every Allison late last year due to a traffic incident. I mean, that had to be, he was in the hospital for a little while first. I mean,
That
you
is
had to be
correct.
thinking about that today, right?
I did from the minute I got the phone call that I had a deputy shot. It's the worst thing as a sheriff, sitting here worried about my warriors and my sheepdogs out here that are protecting the citizens, trying to make it safe for Nash County and for North Carolina and for actually America, because these people are traveling all over America doing these things. And it's one of our people out here trying to provide safety and trying to make it safe for the motoring public and for the citizens. It's a very touching moment to me, and thank God that the good Lord had them in their hands today.
There were other reports that the female deputy was injured. Was that true?
She was not injured. We have one state trooper that has gone to the hospital with some type of injury or illness, and our deputy Tony is invited at this time, and he is there with about 3 to 4 gunshot wounds.
So Shelby was not injured, Shelby's fine.
She was injured, but not to the extent to be admitted into the hospital.
Okay, can you also mention, was this stop, this traffic stop, was it part of like a larger I-95 in enforcement thing, or was it just?
No, these were the only two on that end of the county that were working. It was a traffic stop with a speed, carried on the conversation. After he got out of the car, it turned violent, and that's what.
Just a routine?
This is just a routine traffic
Okay.
stop, and criminal activity was afoot. She detected it and called for backup and carried the investigation further. And then when they attempted to take him into custody, he pulled a weapon out and started firing it.
When you
Yeah,
talk
I'm
to a
sure
lot
you-
of, when you
I'm
talk to a
sure-
lot of street officers, they say there's no such thing as a routine stop. How would you classify the actions of your deputies? Was it heroic?
110%. What's heroic about it is to go from that mode of a shootout with a suspect, and then the suspect is laying there and needs medical attention, and they do that. They provide medical attention to the same persons that's trying to kill you and leave you in that cold highway.
We've been told that the deputy, Tony, is a huge animal lover, and his canine is Chase, is that right?
That is correct.
How did he get that name?
Chase, he named it after one of the cartoons. I think he let some kids, or his kids, name the K9. And the K9 is at his residence now, I understand, and he was never injured. And
How many kids does he have, and does he have grandkids?
I think he has 3 kids, no grandkids. Now, don't hold me to that. One of the fourth one might come up and say, you forgot me. So, but I think there's 3. It's 4. It's 4. It's got 4 kids.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've talked to Deputy Shelby. How's she doing?
She's doing good. I mean, it's a very traumatic experience going through this. I talked to William Tony, and he's in good spirits too.
Sheriff, is it safe to say that their training saved their lives?
110%. The training that these interdictors get is probably some of the best training in America. And it's detection, it's watching body language and things of that nature, and the way that people are talking to you, and it's communications and de-escalation, and obviously your fitness and your ability with a firearm.
Where was the officer shot?
Officer was shot in the upper part of the body 2 times, and then 1 time, I think, from the waist down.
Was he wearing a vest? I
He
see.
was wearing a vest.
And body camera was there?
Body camera, I hadn't seen it when I got there because obviously all the carnage that was there. But my internal affairs team and the State Bureau of Investigation, they are conducting their investigations at this time. I also want to thank the North Carolina Highway Patrol for coming out immediately and responding, and also helping with the investigation. North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, the United States Attorney's Office, the Attorney General's Office, and the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Unit of the Department of Treasury for them reaching out and being on scene quickly. It's a strong partnership. And the outpour and support from the public, from the everyday citizen out here to the governor of North Carolina has called and put their regards to what happened today. It's a good thought to know that these officers are appreciated for what they're doing every day.
Sheriff, can you spell the suspect's name so we make sure we have the right person?
You can, or I can.
And his age.
Last name is Ford.
Okay.
First name Jared, Jarred.
Okay.
Middle initial is Javon, Jadon.
Okay.
And as I said, he's had several aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon, fleeing to elude law enforcement, assault by pointing a firearm, driving while license revoked, he's permanently revoked.
What area is this from? You said Florida. Is there specific?
Most of it's out of Florida.
Okay. And his age?
His age is 87, 33 years old.
And Deputy Tony, how do you, is it Tony as T-O-N-Y?
Toney.
How old is he?
I'm not sure, I haven't got his age.
Sheriff, were there any drugs in the car or anything found?
I suspect there is. That investigation is ongoing now, and obviously it takes time with the officer involved shooting, a suspect shot, and then the investigation of what else is going on. I know that there was a large capacity magazine for the semi-automatic weapon. I do know that he did possess that.
Do you
There's
expect?
multiple investigations going on.
There
and
is.
That's kind of huge one.
That is correct. There is the SBI is doing the investigation on the officer involved shooting, and the Nash County Sheriff's Office, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms with the federal government, U.S. Attorney's Office is doing the criminal investigation.
What about the officers, I guess specifically Officer Smith? Will she be basically desk, what I'll call desk duty?
What
That's
they'll-
routine too.
Yeah, I understand. It used to be called desk duty. No, it'll be now is you'll be on administrative leave, and then after that investigation is concluded, and we make sure that you're safe and sound to go back to work, then obviously.
And that's obviously routine.
That is 100% routine, and it's for the safety of the officer and also safety of everybody.
And just kind of run down the two officers who were being treated at the hospital. What were they each being treated for?
I didn't
The two officers who were being treated at the hospitals, what are they being treated for?
One is complaint of chest pains, and then my other officer is there that is in surgery for gunshot wounds, for multiple gunshot wounds.
The one with chest pains was the highway patrol officer?
That is correct.
Was that female or, yeah?
That was a male. So, any other questions?
As soon as the suspect, I guess, gets out of the hospital, he would be processed.
He will be processed.
On pending charges, which you
On
have.
pending charge, that is correct.
Any mugshot of him at the moment?
I'm sure that with this criminal record, he's got one somewhere.
But not from you guys.
I've not retrieved it yet. I have not seen it. But I will provide you the copy of his name and all that. So, but he's out of Florida, and I guess you have the resources to pull up all that.
Deputy Tony goes by Tommy, correct?
William Tony.
Yeah, does he go by Tommy? Is that his nickname or?
I call him Tony, William Tony.
Okay. Yeah, some people call him Tommy, I don't know.
And his dog, I call him Police Dog, not Chase.
Okay, thank you.
And this is a given, but both deputies are with Nash County Sheriff's Office.
Both are with Nash County Sheriff's Office, and they're both assigned to the criminal interdiction team. Any other questions?
Is the highway open yet? Is the highway open?
The highway is open, and we opened up one lane because the amount of traffic out there, and the city of Rocky Mount did an outstanding job bringing the traffic through Rocky Mount. But we've got that open back up. We tried to have it open back up by 3 because obviously with the traffic at 5 o'clock, it would just be horrendous. So we've got one lane open, and then I think it's fully open now.